7 silent moves that make an avoidant crave you without chasing them. There's a quiet power in silence, especially when you're dealing with someone emotionally avoidant. You know the type. They want closeness, but run the moment things feel real. They shut down just when you get close, then reappear as if nothing happened, craving your attention again. And here's the thing. Chasing them only pushes them further. The real magic lies in what you don't do. In this video, I'll share 7 silent moves that make an avoidant crave your attention without you lifting a finger to chase them. These aren't games. They're shifts in your energy, behavior, and boundaries that speak louder than words. Stop explaining yourself. One of the most powerful silent moves you can make is to stop over-explaining. When you're close to an avoidant, it's natural to want to explain your feelings, to justify why you're hurt, why you need more, why you deserve better. But to them, all that explaining feels like pressure, even if you mean it as love. So stop. Let your silence speak instead. When you stop justifying yourself, it sends a subtle but undeniable message. You no longer need their validation to feel whole. For example, instead of sending them paragraphs trying to clarify what went wrong, simply say, "I hear you," and leave it at that. Instead of asking, "Did I do something? Can we talk about it?" you let the silence stretch. This absence of justification is louder than words. It disrupts the pattern they're used to. You explaining, them withdrawing, and it triggers something new in them. Curiosity, even fear. Because suddenly, you're no longer trying to win them over. You're no longer their emotional mirror. And that shift makes them start to wonder what's going on with you. 2. Mirror their distance, peacefully. When an avoidant pulls away, most people react emotionally, withdrawing with anger, shutting down with resentment, playing tit for tat. But that just gives the avoidant another excuse to retreat further, telling themselves, "See, this is why I don't get close. They're angry, they're dramatic." Instead, mirror their distance, but with peace. Match their energy without hostility. If they take hours to reply, you don't send a frustrated follow-up. If they become cold, you don't try to warm them up. You simply adjust yourself quietly and stop over-investing. You don't say, "Fine, I won't bother you anymore." You don't punish them. You simply stop being as available. You're calm, unbothered, and that unsettles them because it's not the reaction they expected. You're no longer playing the role they're used to, chasing, clinging, proving, and the fear sets in. Have you moved on? Did they push you too far? That quiet detachment speaks volumes. Be unreachable at times. Here's what avoidants secretly love: knowing you're always emotionally waiting in the wings. They like feeling they can disappear, then come back whenever they want, and you'll still be there. So take yourself off standby mode. This isn't about playing games. It's about actually living your life. Be busy, genuinely busy, with your passions, your work, your friends, your self-care. When they reach out, you don't always reply right away. When they want to see you, you're not always available. And you don't announce it either. You don't say, "Just so you know, I'm going out tonight." You just go. That unpredictability breaks the pattern. They're no longer in control of when and how they get your attention. And that loss of control makes them crave it even more. It's not about being cold. It's about reclaiming your own rhythm. Because nothing makes an avoidant more curious than realizing you have a life they're not fully part of. Let your energy speak. Avoidants may not listen to your words, but they always pick up on your energy. You can say, "I'm fine," but if your energy is anxious, clingy, resentful, they'll feel it and pull away. That's why emotional stillness is such a magnetic move. Imagine this. They walk into a room and expect you to light up, to lean in, to buzz with need for them. But instead, you're calm, neutral, present in yourself. You greet them warmly, but without that anxious undertone. They can feel that you're no longer emotionally tangled up in them. You're no longer outsourcing your peace to their behavior. And that hits differently. It makes them feel the void, because they were used to feeding off your emotional intensity. Now, they have to work for it. This isn't about being cold or fake. It's about truly detaching your self-worth from their actions. And when you carry that calm, sovereign energy, they sense it, even if they don't show it, and it draws them closer. 5. Stop trying to understand them. You read about their trauma, analyze their behavior, empathize, but all that understanding keeps you tied to them. One of the most powerful silent moves: withdraw your emotional microscope. Let their behavior speak for itself. Sit with the fact that they may never change, and accept it quietly. Ironically, once they feel you're no longer trying to understand them, they'll crave it. 6. Say no without explaining. Avoidants test boundaries to see how much you'll tolerate. Start saying no without guilt, without long explanations. Decline invitations. Refuse to engage in half-hearted conversations. This quiet firmness shows them you won't let your peace be disturbed. And when they feel that wall, they suddenly miss your softness. Choose stillness over reaction. Avoidants thrive on emotional chaos. It gives them control. When they ghost, act cold, or disappear, they're testing you. But when you stop reacting, no angry texts, no panic, no chasing, they lose that power. Stillness isn't weakness, it's strength. And in that silence, they'll start wondering what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what you're doing, and they'll miss you. These moves aren't about manipulation. They're about reclaiming your energy. When you stop pouring yourself into someone who can't reciprocate, you glow differently. Your energy becomes sovereign, and they feel the absence of what they used to take for granted. But here's the key: you can't fake stillness. You can't pretend to move on while secretly watching your phone. You can't act busy. You have to be busy, rebuilding your life so fully that their inconsistency no longer shakes you. That's the paradox of emotional magnetism. The more you come home to yourself, the more others feel pulled to you, especially those who once took you for granted. So let them feel your silence. Let them meet the version of you who no longer needs to be needed. That's where your power is. Thanks for spending a few minutes here with me today. If you're on a journey toward wisdom and inner peace, hit like, subscribe, and keep growing with us. See you soon.